Alright, so we are going to have a match. So we do have one off-roster sub for Phoenix Rising Diamond, Covey. The team's manager is going to jump in for them. Um, so just getting a few things set up here before we start. Okay. Alright, taking a look real quick at the maps. We can see that LuBu won the toss, chose to go with draft pick. They banned out. Sorry about that. They banned out Tomb and Volskaya. Phoenix Rising Diamond choosing to ban out Braxis and Cursed Hollow. They chose first map, which was Infernal Shrines. So let's go ahead and get into the draft. As you heard, that now ready to start up. LuBu versus Phoenix Rising Diamond, game one. Real quick, if we just take just the quickest of looks at the standings, we can see LuBu up near the top. Actually got a big win over Wood League, 2-0, which, while Probius is higher in the standings, definitely puts LuBu in the driver's seat. Probius has played all of their flex matches so far. This is one of LuBu's flex matches, so they're going to be playing that. Phoenix Rising Diamond, near the bottom of the standings, but they had a big upset over Bancho, and maybe they've turned the corner on the season. We'll have to see. Taking a look at what we've seen banned so far, we do see the Zul ban and the Imperius ban. Imperius has been a very successful hero for the side of LuBu. Sonya banned out, something that we have seen PRD play, as well as just a very strong hero on the map, great for shrine control, etc. But yeah, I mean, obviously on paper, LuBu the favorite here. The question is, do they maybe get a little cocky in this series, coming off their win over Wood League? And if so, have they maybe lacked some preparation that could come back to bite them against this now resurgent Phoenix Rising Diamond team? Again, coming off that huge win of Bancho, which was one of the top teams in C East. I mean, they were right up there with Wood League and LuBu. Kael'thas, the last ban from PRD. Alan Hicks going to jump right onto Joanna. If you're going to pick a tank early, it's either Joanna or ETC. Immediately, Covey jumps onto Gul'dan. Great hero for controlling the objective space, getting a lot of shrine minions. Do they grab their tank ETC now? If they want ETC, you'd expect them to grab it now, and they do. ETC, arguably the best tank up there with Joanna. Joanna, maybe more generalist, but both of the top tier tanks taken. And turn around with a Tassadar Raynor, two of the premier assassins in Heroes of the Storm right now. Tassadar, arguably the best poke assassin in a lot of ways at the moment, especially if you have some kind of reliable CC like a root or a stun that enables a guaranteed long-range hit on the Q. It's going to stack quite nicely. We'll see Suganen on that hero. Next ban coming in, they're going to ban out the Rhaegar, which makes every bit of sense in the world. If you're not going to play Rhaegar here, and given that you're kind of going into a Gul'dan comp, maybe you want more of a sustained healer, it makes sense because you don't want to have to deal with Bloodlust. You don't want to have to deal with Bloodlust on the Raynor, as well as on the Archon. The Blarcon, as we call it. Malfurion getting banned out on the other side. I quite like Malfurion right now. I think Malfurion is one of the top healers. Provided that Malf does not get hit by the Blessed Shield, he can cleanse it out. Because anymore, he can even early in the game, easily keep his Q on 4 heroes, counting himself now with the Rejuvenation talent at 1. Next pick's coming in, it is the Anduin and the Tychus, so bringing in some single target damage, as well as Tychus being able to drop Odin to control the point Shogun Misa going to be grabbing that hero. The Captain Geoceres, it's going to be on Anduin, a strong healer. Strong on the shrines as well because of the choke points, enabling Light Bomb to get a lot of value. Lucio going to be the option on the other side, giving some movement speed, giving that big burst mitigation with Sound Barrier. And then we have a Zeratul. That's kind of the novelty, I would say, of this draft. Did not necessarily expect to see that. Zera has not been as picked as he used to be. VP, still an incredibly strong ultimate. Although we have seen things like Q-Build Zeratul rise in popularity at times. Leo going to be the last pick. Taking a look, Zeratul only a 6% pick rate, but a 64% win rate. So while it's not brought out often, it's been successful when it has been. And then, of course, Leo, one of the premier solo laners in the game right now. Able to double soak, which is valuable on this map. The Entomb can get a lot of value off these choke points. That level 20 Entomb into Lucio is going to be a win condition in a lot of ways. If they can get onto Lucio to deny Sound Barrier with a Silence, maybe a Light Bomb follow-up, that will be a great way to win fights late in the game for PRD. Key is going to be not getting picked off early by this Zeratul. And Anduin does not provide a lot of burst healing. That's one place where Anduin sincerely struggles. The Zeratul going to be able to counter that. But Zeratul not really going to be able to soak the same way that Leo is. Zera has good wave clear in his Q, but it's got a fairly long cooldown, and more importantly, it uses up a lot more mana proportionally than what Leo needs to clear the lane. So, excited to get into this match. Haven't casted Sea East in a bit, I believe. But LuBu just having a terrific season. And obviously the cherry on top has been their win over Wood League. That currently has LuBu at the top of my power rankings. LuBu been around for a while. Short for Lunch Bunch, by the way, not the Dynasty Warriors hero or general, or not really a hero, more a villain. But nonetheless, we're going to get set up into the game now. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and introduce our team. Streakwing, going to be on Lucio. We're going to have Alan Hicks on Joanna, Bandit on Raynor, Suganin on Tassadar, and Spoticus on Zeratul. It is the Lunch Bunch, LuBu on the left. And representing the red corner, it's going to be Phoenix Rising Diamond, Geoceres on Anduin, Northern Touch on Leo. This is Covey on Gul'dan, subbing in Shogun Misa on Tychus. And finally, going to be Staymop on ETC. Some fighting words early. Good luck, high five. No, you have good luck, high five. As we look forward to this match. Oops, my casting thing's not working. There we go. That has been fixed. Sorry about that. I have a kind of convoluted setup here. Anyway. Right out of the gate, though, initial rotation, Phoenix Rising Diamond, just not really trying to contest. They're going to go ahead and clean up the bot lane with ETC, who almost gets caught by the task wall, but kind of manages to slide on through that. Almost like a wrong warp, like a speedrunning technique there. Or a clip. That's what we'd call that, a clip. Anyway, up on the top, it's Leo versus Raynor. In principle, that definitely favors Raynor, provided he doesn't stand still and let Leo hit a W, which is what happened there, but I'm sure will adjust accordingly and should have that lane well in control and force Leo to soak safely. Meanwhile, LuBu now going to catch most of this bot soak. Let's see if they start. They are indeed going to start this bottom camp. And that's a good adjustment, putting Raynor in the solo lane. Raynor, of course, currently low and doesn't have the self-sustain that Leo has. But this is an interesting little wrinkle here by LuBu. They are going to take the neutral bottom siege camp before they take their own in the mid lane. Now that's going to put more pressure on the Leoric to zone that lane. or it's not Leoric, excuse me, on Joanna to clear that lane while they head to their own siege camp. And it meant that the bottom siege camp really didn't get a lot of value. It more just bought time. Time that, you know, Phoenix Rising Diamond wasn't really desperate for at this point in the game. So, you know, I like the idea of trying to do something different. We didn't really see a lot of value from that. But let's see now that they have their own siege camp in the lane, if maybe they can get some value with that. But Zeratul tries to be cheeky, and Geoceres hits him with the roots. DOS root going to secure the first kill of the match in favor of the underdog, Phoenix Rising Diamond. Shogun Misa going to chunk some damage into the very low mana Joanna. Joanna thinking about backing now. Want to step up, make sure they get those XP globes, but you know, a bit low, definitely low on mana, gonna have to back up. Take a look, the next, or the first, I should say, shrine is going to be Arcane. Up in the top, Zera looking for the flank onto Spartacus. Takes E at the last second, but still gets polished off there. I think that was maybe the Zeratul W securing that kill. Hard to tell. That or Zeratul had started his auto attack animation before Leo took the return. Covey rotates in aggressive and just has nowhere to go and gets blown up. So Phoenix Rising Diamond losing a couple people right as this objective starts. Not an ideal situation for them, and that should be LuBu securing this first objective. Staymop gonna try to pressure in, do what they can. A lot of damage there from the Tychus. Spartacus now going into the back. Overkill being used to try to secure this finish. But Spartacus going to be able to get away, and the Arcane Punisher has been summoned by LuBu. They're leaving Leo out the split soak, who's doing a good job of that at this point. Looks like Zera's going to rotate away to help counteract that split push. Still even on XP. We'll see how quickly PRD can get this Punisher down. They're doing a good job. 40%, but their towers are now down. And LuBu going to rotate away and just maybe try to pressure elsewhere. Punisher finished up in the bottom lane. Wave going to be cleared. Leo still doing the double soak. Now on the way down mid. And there we go. Bruiser Camp going to be grabbed here by LuBu. Recognizing that the next shrine top is early, which by the way will be Mortar. The next shrine will push in the top. So, not really a good reason to stall your Bruiser Camp, since once the Punisher objective starts, you know the enemy team's going to be up there to clear it. Phoenix Rising Diamond instead going to grab their bottom shrine, but now an attempt to steal. This is a 3v4 at the moment. Zera could rotate in. Focus here onto Suikoden. Lucio on the point. No one on the side of PRD able to get on. Staymop didn't really pull the trigger on an engage that his team could follow up on. Now Covey rather low. Gonna need some healing to be able to step up. But now the Khazra camp in the lane starting to damage up the tower a little bit. So PRD just kind of falling a bit there in the macro. Would have maybe liked to have seen ETC pull a trigger on a power slide his team could follow up on. But the team, he was kind of up in the top space. His team really coming in through the bottom. Just weren't really able to meet in the middle there to secure that kill. And now LuBu going to grab their own Siege Giant, continue this mid lane pressure. Let's see, do they maybe catch Joanna out? Task Wall just going to be kind of an annoyance. And Suikoden doing a good job getting stacked. Actually, no, excuse me. Did not take the stacking talent. Still getting some good damage out here. And now Zera rotating in. This is a level 10 advantage for a brief window. Is LuBu going to pull the trigger on this fight? They have the Bless Shield. They have the VP. They have the Black Hole. They have Sound Barrier. And they have Rainer's Raiders. So they have set up quite a nice wombo combo potentially. But they don't pull the trigger before 10 is available for PRD. Mosh Pit, Light Bomb, Entomb. It's going to be the Draken Laser rather than the Odin. That's a surprising choice on this map. Horrify from the Gul'dan. Horrify going to need to be used to disengage kind of the wombo that you can expect LuBu's going to throw out here. And there's the VP, only catches one. Horrify onto Zera, and he can't get out. That Horrify does secure the kill. Gul'dan does get isolated, however, and go down. Leo's starting to rotate in. Potential for a 4v3, but it looks like PRD just wanting to back up, reset, see if they can get Gul'dan back, and try to play for the Shrine. This Mortar Punisher does quite a bit of siege damage, but not really much in terms of pressuring the enemy team, as compared to the Arcane, which does significantly more hero damage, as well as the Frozen Punisher, which shuts down towers. Ooh, power slide there onto Joe. Tries to get onto Suikoden. Rest of the team not there. Stay Mop kind of getting booped back in. Trying to look for something. Entomb is a swing and a miss. Stay Mop and Northern Touch both low. And Stay Mop does go down there. Seeing a few power slides there onto Joanna, which with the Tychus you can definitely get that kill. But I just think they're a little bit too early. The rest of the team not really able to follow up. Leo just going to rotate away to Soak, and it looks like PRD is in the process of cleaning up the other lanes. Looks like they're just going to give this objective. Sparhawks, hi. Hi there. Thank you for dropping in. Match is going well so far. Right now, looks like LuBu starting to take a lead in this game. Potential to easily get a fort here, maybe a keep wall. Let's see how much LuBu wants to push with this. Joe comes in, uses the Condemn, did not pull the trigger on the Bless Shield though. Zera currently in the lane with Leo, so we're not going to see a VP here. Hyperion being saved, looks like they want to get keep damage. Oh, and Anduin gets jumped by the Punisher. There's the Horrify to secure the turnaround kill onto Joanna. Horrify's definitely been on point, but Staymop completely isolated by the task wall. Blue team pinging it saying, hey, kill this guy. Gul'dan now, with no peels, chased down by a Leo, is going to go down. And so despite that strong turnaround, the task wall securing the kill on the ETC, which enables the kill on to Gul'dan. And now Shogun Misa needs to be careful not to get jumped by this Punisher. Draken Laser going to come out, try to finish this Punisher off, down to 10% health. And LuBu going to walk away with the keep wall off those 3 kills. Good start here for LuBu as they start to move towards their own bruiser camp. Already been started here by Alan Hicks on Joanna. Zeratul hovering around the bottom, just trying to keep eyes on Leo. Now starting to rotate mid. Does he start his own camp? He does. Let's see if PRD scouts this. They are starting on their own camp. They're playing fairly safe at the moment. They are on equal talent tiers for a brief window. Let's see if they try to take a fight with this. Because they are down about a level and a third, there is a bit of urgency. Lucio goes in aggressive. I'd like to see Stymop try to pull the trigger here. Tried to go for the Power Slide Mosh combo, but got interrupted. And then the Black Hole, but the Light Bomb used, followed up by the Horrify, trying to get the members out, but Anduin does drop. Kovi gonna fall as well. Shogun Misa and Staymop both on the retreat. LuBu just gonna harass them a little bit, but focusing on their real target, which is this bottom fort. Now extending their lead to almost 2 levels with that 16 talent tier advantage. Taking a look, this is the Q build Zera, as we saw, although not going with the Might of the Nerazim. Instead, choosing the safer, more common option of VP. Up the frequency being chosen here. So trying to get a higher uptime on the E, rather than that bonus, or the amp it up, rather than that bonus healing that we often see. Leo currently solo defending mid. LuBu has grabbed already 2 forts. Looks like they want to go for the last one. Power Slide once again onto Joe, but the Tychus wasn't there for the finish, and it's actually Leo going to get turned around on. Bless Shield blown to secure that kill. relatively short cooldown, so definitely one that they can afford. And, you know, it's going to be valuable if they can get this mid fort, as it will enable their Frozen Punisher, which will be the next one, to potentially go on to keep. Covey is low, going to have to step back. Zera on the flank, looking for an opportunity, but, you know, this powered-up tower era, Tower of Power, we'll call it, Zeratul just, you know, doesn't feel as brave as maybe he used to. Could go over the wall for the ETC, but just playing it safe here. Gonna grab some bottom soak, 16, about to be picked up by PRD, but trying to push that about level and 3/4 lead, so that way they can win the race to 20. Certainly not going to win it before this objective is decided. 10 seconds until the Frozen Punisher Shrine is available. Both teams positioning up here. All 5 are here. Spartacus down in the mid lane. Looks like ETC wants to power slide in. Does pull the trigger on the Mosh, but gets booped out. Perfectly timed boop there by the Lucio. And actually, that put Mosh on the full cooldown. Meanwhile, Kobe getting dove in the back. Has a big Horrify. Doesn't turn in any kills yet. Alan Hicks cut off by the Light Bomb. Oh, does go down, but the VP going to secure 3. Light Bomb does get neutered there. And the health bars are just lower on the side of PRD, and Anduin gets finished off by Spartacus. Now having a hard time escaping. Shogun Misa, though, not knowing really who to be on, turns on to Lucio, but too late. Lucio able to heal through that, and that is 4 kills. ETC getting out, but really with nothing here to defend, and so this will be looking like at least some damage onto the fort, or at least going to grab the siege camp. They're holding the shrine right now at 32. They want to get Joe back up. They want to get the siege camps in the lane as well. That means LuBu, they're going to be looking for the kill shot here. Take a look at those talents, actually. We have not pulled them up, and apologies for that. Frozen Punisher marching down lane. It will shut this fort down. Potentially setting up some roots. Shogun Misa steps up, but now gets engaged on by the Zera. Does stay alive, however, all the same. There's the Entomb, but Tychus does go down, as does Gul'dan, before Horrify can be dropped. And now, Staymop gonna have to rotate around through the top. No ult there to secure the kill. Excuse me, by ult I mean, of course, Bless Shield to secure the kill on to ETC, but level 20 now here. Joe going indestructible. We have Raynor with the increased auto attack damage. We have the House Party trying to get the bonus healing on the side of Lucio. The keep has gone down, and this Punisher is at 76% health, so this looks like LuBu going to be able to finish this game here. This core, annoying to push into because of those roots. Very hard to dodge them as they just take up the entire space. Zera going to throw a VP in front of the gate, really before anyone was there to come through. It did catch Tychus, at least, but sound barrier not even needed. Core has gone down, and LuBu going to take game number 1 in this series. Alright, so let's take a look at the end of game statistics. Taking a look right out of the gate, I mean, we can see just healing numbers very even. So the difference comes down to the damage, and we just saw dramatically more damage coming out of LuBu, as well as just kind of some better ult synergy. I will say Covey had a couple good Horrifies, but otherwise, you know, wasn't able to really stay in those fights from that Zeratul dive. Taswall also got a lot of value there, and the VP, that last VP especially, to neuter the Light Bomb, was really critical. And so LuBu, strong statement in game number 1. We'll get set for game number 2. We'll be right back. Stay tuned, and thank you all for watching. Welcome back, everyone. This is Gaming Series. Map number 2 here between LuBu and Phoenix Rising Diamond. Here out of the C East Division, LuBu looks strong map 1, up 1-0 in this series. Phoenix Rising Diamond going to have to respond now to the just naked aggression that LuBu was able to put on them on the objective points. This map, though, you're not going to see as many 5v5 fights. You see a lot more skirmishes, 3v3s, maybe 4v4s. Typically, you won't see too many 5v5 fights until much, much later in the game. Let's see if Phoenix Rising Diamond can draft a comp that maybe that plays to their advantage. ETC going to get banned out here. That was picked up, I should note, by StayMop in the last game. So denying the hero that PRD picked suggests that maybe they want the Joanna. We'll see if LuBu maybe bans it out and there's some mutually assured draft destruction here. Dragonshire, you look at some of the solo laners that are strong on this map. You definitely start thinking of Rexar right out of the gate. Samuro, of course, can be very annoying on this map if anyone on your team plays it. Tassadar are going to get banned out, taking that one away from Suikoden after a very well-played task game in Game 1. LuBu now, ready to make a second pick happen. It is Joanna, so some mutually assured tank destruction. That leaves up arguably the top tanks as Mal'Ganis and Garrosh at this point. Anub'arak also, something that you see when you're going for a very hyper-aggressive blow-up comp. With this tank choke, though, do we see StayMop grab the tank now for PRD? Actually, we do, except minor correction. It is Covey grabbing the tank. Going to jump onto the Muradin. Covey, a sub for this team. Excuse me, as I lost my tool, actually, here. Just getting back squared away.
This realm needs me.
But Covey going to jump onto Muradin here, trying to fit in with this team as an off-roster substitute. Came in at the last minute to help PRD play, avoid the forfeit. Streakwing, though, going to jump on the Greymane. Great camp clear, great burst damage. And they pair that with even more burst damage, so it doesn't look like LuBu is thinking anything less than aggression again. Another aggressive comp coming out from them. It's going to be responded to with Whitemane and Thrall. So Whitemane, not typically considered a top healer in the meta right now. Especially with who is up, you consider typically Rhaegar, for example, near the top. Anduin, you see a lot of Stukov in NGS. But jumping onto that Whitemane, so that can work well with an aggressive comp. With this Thrall frontline, I'm a little bit concerned how much peel Whitemane's going to have, as Muradin and Thrall both want to be aggressive with their CC rather than defensive. And Whitemane does, at times, need a bit protecting. She does need to step up fairly aggressively to get heals. And we do see the Jaina ban, which is great CC follow-up, so wise decision there by LuBu. Garrosh going to get banned out on the other side. That does leave up both Mal'Ganis, and you'd argue Anub'arak would be kind of the fifth tank there. And I think either could work. If anything, Anub'arak might be better into this comp to be very aggressive in order to enable Greymane and Li Ming. Diablo's also very strong on this map. Not as strong as Infernal Shrines, but still, the objective spaces do have a lot of wallbang opportunities. And then you get the Deckard Cain. Great CC follow-up. Ruby, an incredibly strong dive-enabling tool, and both Greymane and Li Ming can dive in, assuming we, in that case, see, say, a Calamity Li Ming. Not necessarily required, but certainly would support the dive well. It's being responded to by Hanzo and Raynor, bringing in some poke damage here. Both a bit vulnerable to the Diablo, though, especially Hanzo, as he could drop before he's able to get his arrow off. So we'll see how Staymop is able to play the hero. On the other side, Raynor grabbing the Shogun Misa. Last pick to come in. It's going to be their solo laner. Rexar's still available, although thinking into Thrall, maybe you want something that matches up a bit better. They're going to go with Artanis. Artanis is something that we've seen LuBu play a bit. Certainly got an interesting level 1 talent change, a stacking auto attack build. We'll see if that's the call. You also have the blind ultimate to neuter the Raynor in team fights, which I think is a good idea. It can also neuter, by the way, Whitemane, who does rely on auto attacks to help out her healing, as she really needs to translate damage into healing to be effective. But overall, I like this draft by both teams. I would say I kind of lean more towards LuBu's draft. It seems a bit more tried and true. Should note we have a little bit of a role swap. Streakwing healed in the last match, I believe. Maybe it was Ben, I can't recall. But Suikoden this time going to be the healer who played Tassadar last game. Now jumping on to the Deckard Cain. And Suikoden is a known Deckard Cain player. Very strong player at that. So that's, it's been an asset to LuBu this season, who've really been doing, as we talked about at the beginning of the cast, quite well. But we're going to jump into the match here and go ahead and introduce our two teams. On the left, we're going to have Streakwing on Greymane, have Alan Hicks on Diablo, Bandit on Li Ming, Suikoden on Deckard Cain, and Spoticus on Artanis. It is LuBu looking to close out the series with domination. Hoping to get us to a Game 3 on the other side is Phoenix Rising Diamond. We're going to have Geoceres on Whitemane, Northern Touch on Thrall. This is Covey on the Muradin. Shogun Misa going to be playing Raynor. And last but not least, Staymop on the Hanzo. Take a look at those level 1s. Diablo not opting for a level 1 yet. Giving it some thought. Certainly, and there it is, Devil's Due tends to be the pick on this map because there's a lot of fighting in the lanes, a lot of regen clubs. But actually trying to cheese the top well, and they do. So top well has been cheesed, but at what cost? Well, the cost was Artanis, in case anyone was wondering. From there, Disengage coming in. Deckard going with the stacking root talent rather than the Sapphire. That indicates to me likely a Ruby at 4, which at this point I would expect. And certainly with the Greymane Diablo, Ruby is incredibly powerful. I know I've been critical of Ruby in the past, but that's because I've seen Ruby picked when a team goes a heavy poke comp, and there it actually does struggle. With this comp, they're extremely aggressive with the Artanis, with the Diablo, with the Greymane. Ruby is 100% the choice. Phoenix Rising Diamond, they go ahead, they jump on to their siege camp quickly, they get it in the lane. Both teams even on Soak at the moment, that one kill favoring Phoenix Rising Diamond off that well cheese. Thrall currently alone up top. Artanis now starting to rotate up. Thrall has not taken advantage of that, however. And by the way, Artanis is going that stacking auto attack quest we talked about. So every auto attack he puts onto Thrall is just going to make Thrall's laning even harder. Down on the bottom, Phoenix Rising Diamond has controlled the bottom in a 2v3 situation. Alan Hicks thought about going on to Hanzo, turns around onto Covey here. Thrall has gone down in a bot due to a great gank there by Bandit on Li Ming. And that will lead to both shrines being in control of LuBu. Whitemane has come down, leaving no one mid to defend or stall a turn-in. Covey extremely low, needing to let Second Wind kick here. And it does, so that will... Muradin can regen very quick, very strong in lane. Still, though, no one from LuBu has rotated down. Looks like Li Ming's starting to make that rotation. And still no one in the mid lane to stop this channel. Let's see if Li Ming does get minion aggro. And that makes a huge difference, as it does allow PRD to briefly push LuBu off this bot point. We'll see if they can hold it. They're committing a lot of resources to this bottom. Li Ming, meanwhile, rotating back up top onto Thrall. Thrall needs to dodge the swap. Does not do so. Now trying to walk away. Using the Q to self-sustain so low. Li Ming looking for the orb. Northern Touch just having to juke as best he can, but not able to do so. And that is the second gank successfully onto Phoenix Rising Diamond up in that top lane. Raynor has come mid to pick up some Soak. Soak's still fairly even. Should be noted, Hanzo going into the Q build, eventually going to need to get stacks onto the Artanis. Currently, not sure where he's stacked. We'll have to check the hero itself here. We actually don't know which heroes he hit, and not sure how to check it. But now, 4v4 here in the bot. A lot of poke coming back and forth. Nobody going in for the kill shot yet. Alan Hicks maybe had that opportunity with the Raynor. This is Covey moving in onto Suikoden, but having to back up. But still, for the time being, actually a good volley lob there by Phoenix Rising Diamond to keep control of this bottom objective. Take a look here at Hanzo. Now a flip onto Covey. Covey extremely low, but Whitemane has the clutch heals to get him out of there. Meanwhile, Raynor working on this siege camp. Thrall has temporary control of the top, but Whitemane actually goes down there to the Li Ming. As, forgive the graph in the bottom left. We're just trying to see if maybe we could see Hanzo's stack count. Covey and Bandit both low there. Covey trying to control this bot point. Suikoden desperate for this channel. Shogun Mista really selling out to get the interrupt and does get popped by Streakwing on the chase, which enables Deckard to finish the channel. Now this is LuBu's healer inside the dragon, so it will limit how much they're able to fight. As it's gonna, can't get potions out while you're in the dragon. But gonna walk this bot all the same. Tries to kick, ends up kind of getting tied to the wall. Covey with some good bait there. Great bait mate, great bait mate, I rate 8 of 8. Me talk good, me have best words. Covey, kind of a weird interaction there with Diablo, but does manage to escape. Hanzo still only one hero hit 3 times. Covey, very low, has to run away, but Li Ming gets the finish all the same. And Shogun Misa now low. Li Ming maybe looking for the finish. APOC used, tries to get the combo into Geoceras, has a little bit of an awkward stutter step to prevent it. Now keep in mind, Streakwing is taking tower shots here. They are underneath the tower, so they're going to have to walk away. Only get about half that fort, but still get the entire bottom wall and the well, and that's going to pay dividends here. Thrall's still trying to soak best they can top. 1 level lead. Taking a look at those heroics, we obviously saw the APOC from Diablo was called earlier. Cursed Bullet, Disintegration we've seen multiple times. Suppression Pulse, Deckard going with the Sleep, and we actually saw it down here on the bottom. On the other side, Raynor's Raiders, Avatar, Dragon's Arrow Sundering, Whitemane still holding her ult. And there's a big focus onto Covey with the Cursed Bullet. Blows the Avatar, though, after the bullet to get the full amount of self-healing. That said, Covey does get flipped back over into the laser and does go down. Diablo killed on the turnaround, but that's actually going to cost souls. And so if you're on the side of Phoenix Rising Diamond, maybe you're okay with that. Fort has gone down, though, so you're not going to be okay with that. Whitemane still has not picked her level 10. Not sure what they're waiting to see. Do they go with the Reckoning for kind of that team fight burst of healing and damage? Or do they go with the more traditional Aegis in order to spread the healing as well as get a little bit of armor onto their team? Don't know what the play is yet. Hanzo clearing out the bottom. You have Whitemane and Muradin starting on this objective. You definitely want to get Raynor down there if you can. But Raynor just may be leading the members of LuBu there. Does LuBu pull the trigger on this invade? Looks like they do. Alan Hicks stepping up. They have the 4v3. Great stun there by Covey. They does secure the camp, but he might go down. Whitemane does blow the Aegis, and it does enable Muradin to stay alive to get out of there. But that said, this siege camp has been cleaned up before it even entered the lane. Scarlet Aegis was the choice. Both are very team fight oriented. The difference is, how do you think you're going to be able to hit more of your allies or more of your enemies? And into this, oh, that's a big sleep. Trying to get onto Muradin again. Whitemane just throwing out just enough heals to keep Covey on this side of 0 HP. Shogun Misa needs to be careful. Alan Hicks does find the wall bang. Now flips the Muradin. And Muradin going to get finished by the Greymane. 2 kills there. Needed to back up a bit sooner on the side of Phoenix Rising Diamond. But LuBu just so aggressive. And using Diablo so effectively. Now pushing up onto this keep wall. Artanis double soaking for free and actually about to grab the dragon as Thrall died up in the top lane during all of that. And now going to run this dragon bot, try to open up the first keep of the game. They have a 2-level lead, equal talent here again. Hanzo up to 3 stacks of his Q. Diablo has finished his Souls collection. Whitemane throwing out what healing she can, but this keep is starting to fall down to about 2/3 health. Thrall getting kicked away on this defense. Covey jumps in, but having to jump out. There's a big sleep, maybe looking for the APOC follow. Finds Whitemane, tries to get the kill onto Hanzo, but the stun from the core is going to be able to save Hanzo here. Core doing a great job. There's the Dragon's Arrow, trying to enable a re-engage. Avatar has been used. Root going to slow down this engage. Aegis used there. And actually, that's going to be a huge Aegis that enables the kill on Diablo, costing him his souls. And Artanis and Deckard has gone down as well. Staying a bit too long on the side of LuBu. Bandit does get onto the mount there, so should be able to escape. Let's see what PRD does with this power play. They are still down a level. Shogun Misa wants Siege Camp. Diablo is up, though, so they're going to have to commit all their resources to getting this. We'll see if it pays off for them. Big focus there on Alan Hicks, who doesn't have that bulky HP pool to stay alive at this point. 0 souls on Diablo, and Diablo having a Hearth, not even a tap available at this point. Or at least not wanting to use the tap without much on the map to do with it. Typically, you want to tap when there's something that requires your immediate attention. If there's nothing that requires your immediate attention and you don't think you're going to be able to do anything, it's actually better to Hearth and save your tap for when you need it, even if it's off cooldown. So that might have been what we saw Alan Hicks do there. Just recognizing there's no objective up. There's not really camps being contested anymore. Might as well just play back, play safe. Level 16 is here, though, for LuBu. On the horizon, very close at hand for the side of PRD. Northern Touch wanted to get onto Bandit. Wasn't able to land that root. Good dodge there by Bandit. Recognizing the root was coming, not running straight back. Instead, kind of doing a little back juke and then running actually away from their own wall to dodge it. That root hits Li Ming very well could have gone down there. Due to just the burst damage now that is at Hanzo's disposal. Diablo flips the Muradin. Cursed Bullet comes in. Shogun Misa on the flank. But now the big turnaround with the Dragon's Arrow. And Staymop keeping his team in the game now with 2 fantastic Dragon's Arrows back to back. And this will put numbers in favor of Phoenix Rising Diamond here in the bottom. And with their 16 talent tier, they can now start to think about controlling this bottom objective. Thrall and Artanis going to continue to brawl it out in the top. Worth noting, Artanis up to 133 stacks. That is 13.3% bonus damage at minimum. And there we see, Shogun Misa taking a big hit from Li Ming. Aegis forced out there. Thrall has gained control of the top objective. Spartacus, does he go top to defend? No, he's going to stay here and try to cut this Thrall off. Thrall will not get the channel. We're going to keep our attention down here in the bottom for now. Shogun Misa is still very low, and this is where you can have a hard time on Whitemane. If you're not able to step up and get consistent damage out, you end up using a lot of Qs, and you don't have infinite mana on the Whitemane anymore. Whitemane actually rather low on the mana, and oh, Diablo gets the APOC combo. Sleep used, that's going to kill Covey as well, and that is not what the doctor ordered for PRD. Bottom point has been taken over. Can they at least get this kill maybe onto the Artanis? They do. And that's going to at least stem the bleeding for the side of Phoenix Rising Diamond. Thrall needs to not get hit by this root. Does a good job dodging it. And is able to walk away. So Phoenix Rising Diamond, with that kill on Artanis, might survive to see Muradin and Whitemane come back up before this objective is claimed. In fact, likely to do so. Shogun Misa now in the lane, a bit exposed here. Li Ming here, so Alan Hicks may go for the aggression at this point. Staymop joining, Northern Touch here as well, but they have no healer and no main tank. This is a very risky positioning on the side of Phoenix Rising Diamond. They don't need to fight over this right now. They don't need to gain control of Bottom Shrine before their team is back alive. So you question what their goal was, but luckily for them, LuBu just doesn't find the right moment to pull the trigger. And so Phoenix Rising Diamond going to be able to walk away. Now, level 20 is closer by about a full level in favor of LuBu. Thrall comes in on the flank, gets engaged on by Diablo. There's the sleep, only gets onto Muradin, manages to walk away. Li Ming trying to poke down that Whitemane, make it harder for her to step up. There's the root, Northern Touch secures the kill. APOC combo going to be used, Dragon's Arrow counter, Thrall still alive. Greymane, however, is not. And that is a huge kill. Couple of kills there for Phoenix Rising Diamond, who are looking to take us to a game 3, and right now I think they might be able to pull this off. They're still very down in the macro on this map, but they have the opportunity now. The question is, can they get a DK? And if so, which lane do they push? Looks like mid lane's actually the softest right now. Bot lane is softened up, but you know, this late in the game, you got to worry more about ending than you worry about getting kind of the optimal macro strategy. And there's a swap onto Northern Touch. The Warp Sickness has him slowed a bit. And Spartacus, I don't think, ready to give this fight up. Ooh, but here comes Shogun Misa on the flank now. But the Suppression Pulse has been used. And Thrall low. Thrall is going to go down. Kind of stepped up there while blinded. And didn't get the self-heal because of it, because those E auto attacks did not land. Spartacus looks for the swap onto Shogun Misa, but Shogun Misa mounted, not too troubled by it. And now this is a chance for LuBu to get back in control of this game. Level 20 is here. .3v4 here in the bot, so PRD just has to disengage this, but it looks like they want to try to make the desperate play. There's the sleep, hits Whitemane and Muradin. Aegis used, there's the Dragon's Arrow, gets some good damage onto Li Ming. Raynor up in the top, trying to stall out this point versus Artanis, and at least has neutralized it, but still down on the bottom, you're seeing this 3v4 fight, and you just gotta wonder, how long can PRD hold on to this? There's the root onto Covey, he doesn't get away, and we have our answer. That was how long they could hold on to it, and they lose Whitemane and Muradin, and that will almost certainly translate. No! Shogun Misa with the clutch kill onto Artanis up in the top, and once again, Artanis just getting killed at the one moment that it looks like LuBu about to take a game-winning dragon. And you gotta think the next dragon is game-winning. We're up to 17.5 minutes for LuBu. There is no keep. They could run it down bot. That said, this core, hard to push into. Let's see how Phoenix Rising Diamond chooses to play this. Looks like they're just going to have to give up this diamond. Maybe let Hanzo try to stall it as long as he can. He does have vision over it, but Shogun Misa currently working on trying to get a bruiser camp in the lane. I don't think Staymop's going to really be able to get many stalls in. You see one, but now Streakwing just going to free get this channel. And LuBu with some sense of urgency here, just going to run this straight bot. That said, they don't have Artanis, who is arguably one of their best core attackers. So they are going to be relying on this dragon to get a lot of damage out. Ooh, there's the double APOC stun on to Raynor. Down he goes, and that may have just sealed the game. Without Raynor to kill this Dragon Knight is going to be up for a very long time. Thrall just trying to be disruptive on the back line, but now blinded by the suppression pulse as Artanis comes back up. Whitemane trying to get some at least reduction of spell power onto Sugaden. There's a kick, though, kicking Mura away from the core, and this Dragon chunking for about 5% at a time. The core is down to 57 and falling. They do manage to get the dive on the Deckard Cain, but their attention needs to be on this Dragon. 18%, 10%, and down it goes, and despite a very, very valiant effort from Phoenix Rising Diamond late in this game to keep themselves alive, keep themselves in it, they were not able, ultimately, to find their moment to get a Dragon Knight to maybe open up the map and see what happens. Just, getting some kills at some important times, but also getting some deaths, usually right before them. And with that, LuBu is going to take this series 2-0. So we're going to see if we can do a post-game interview. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everyone. I am joined by the captain and tank for the victorious LuBu, Alan Hicks. Alan, how you feeling after that one?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, who's not ever feeling good after a domination victory, right?
Yep, you grab yourselves 3 points in the standings. Now, game one certainly went your way a bit, but game two, we definitely saw Phoenix Rising Diamond kind of punch back a bit and really extend that game in a lot of ways. But first, I want to take you back to game one. We'll get to the kind of how you weathered the storm later. And to that end, just taking a quick look at the map score, map one, Infernal Shrines, was picked by Phoenix Rising Diamond. But I think you guys came in with a pretty clear strategy. What were your goals on that map?
Oh, well, that's one of the maps we're most practiced with, and we kind of had a feeling that they would take us to that map. They've only played two maps more than once this season. That's Tomb of the Spider Queen and Infernal Shrines. So we felt reasonably confident if we took first pick that they would pick Infernal Shrines, which is another map that we're confident on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what wound up happening. So we have pretty good rotations on that map. It just sort of clicks with us. We know our camp timings. We know when we can invade, when we can invade, uh, how quickly we can rotate between lanes. It just seems to be a really good map for us overall, uh, and one that we're most experienced and one of our more successful maps.
All right. Well, certainly it showed. You guys really controlled that map, won every objective, and opened up a fairly early win in this relative to this meta, I should say. Winning off the third Punisher. So now map two, you guys pick Dragonshire. What was the motivation behind that pick?
We just wanted to pick a map that we hadn't played all that often. Uh,
Mm,
you know, Phoenix Rising is in the lower part of the
Hmm.
overall standings. So we felt like it would be a good opportunity to practice the map
Hmm.
while getting in an NGS game
Well, I want to
without
say on their
too much
behalf, I
worry.
do want to say on their behalf, they did dominate Bancho.
Oh, really? I did not see
Yes,
that.
they
My stats
dominated
for the Storm
Bancho.
haven't been updated.
Yeah, they're coming
Yeah.
off that they're coming off that win. So that is worth mentioning. They have beaten a really good C East team. So I would
Yeah,
say
Banjo is not a joke.
I would
And
say
they weren't a joke
yeah.
either.
Yeah, and that takes us to I think what transpired in that game. It looked like, I mean, I'll be honest, it looked like for the first part of the game, short of that, kind of cheeky well grab up in the top that turned around to the Arteta skill, looked like you guys controlled the game for much of the time. Then all of a sudden it seemed like you weren't able to end the game. What was the difference between when you were kind of just asserting your will, getting the pickoffs, you turn them into two DKs, you get the bottom keep? What happened that then made the game take another several minutes longer before you were able to get the DK to end?
Uh, there was a number of factors. We took some poor team fights. There was one time when I think Artanis was top. The Thrall rotated in, and we called for the engage. The Artanis ult came down, but we just couldn't sync up who we were targeting. We couldn't get anyone blown up. I think I also kind of botched APOC on that one. There were a couple times when they did a really good job of either Muradin or Hanzo or Thrall would, stun or root me when I was going for the engage, and it broke us up, and that sort of fell apart. And so towards the end, we had a lot more trouble getting picks because the Muradin was really the only one who would stay in range. And late game, he lives forever, especially with
Mm-hmm.
someone like White Mane constantly healing him with that desperate plea.
Mm-hmm.
Just one after another. You can't put him down. So it was a lot more difficult to pick someone off late game than it was earlier game. Um, but then when we were able to get the engage on some of their back lines, with a charge APOC stun combo, like you would see Rainer blow up
Mm-hmm.
or someone else in their back line, and then the fight was essentially won. Um, but for the most part, it was just very difficult to put the Mirrodin down. And I gotta say, the guy who played Mirrodin in game two, he played Gul'dan in game one, and they swapped him into the tank role. He was their off roster sub,
Mm-hmm. Correct.
and he seemed to be much more comfortable in the frontline role.
Mm-hmm.
With Gul'dan, he was too far forward, a little out of position, a good bit because he was, I guess, in that same mentality that a lot of us frontliners have is I want to run at them and hit them,
Right.
you
Right.
know. Uh, and Mirrodin certainly worked much more to hit that play
Yeah.
style for him, and it showed. He was a much stronger player on Mirrodin than he'd been on Gul'dan, and that certainly made the game more difficult.
I also want to give a shout out. I think to Staymop. He was their Hanzo player. He did have a couple really big Dragons arrows, and I
He
think
did.
I think that's what kept the game going. Whereas if he doesn't hit those Dragons arrows, and maybe you eventually do get down Muradin a couple of those times, you guys maybe cap the shrine and end a bit earlier. But with that, the floor now is yours for shoutouts.
Yeah, well, shout out to you for casting us. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. It's been we haven't gotten casted a lot for reasons we discussed earlier, and because everyone seems to be playing on the same night for one.
Yeah.
But also shout outs to our opposing team, Phoenix Rising Diamond. I thought they put in a really good effort. They certainly showed that they are not a team to just be taken for granted. They have skill. They come to play, and they can put a hurting on you if you're not. If you don't take them, if you don't take them seriously, they will take it from you.
Yeah,
Uh,
they definitely looked really good in this set, I would say.
yeah, I mean, game two was 15 kills to 11 kills. That's pretty even
Mm-hmm.
throughout. Uh, the one the one problem they had was ability to get push in both games. They weren't able to get a lot of push and structure damage in. Uh,
Right.
and I think once they figure that out, they'll bump a good bit up in
Yeah.
standings.
I would say based on their record, I did expect this result. I will say I was very impressed with their resilience in Game 3, especially given that they weren't playing with their normal roster. But to that end, thank
Yep.
you again for letting me cast this match. Thank you all for watching. And with that, we're going to bring this cast to a close. I'm going to kick it over to Kelsier, who is casting a very big matchup, Choking Hazards versus Quarantine Kappas. A lot of Heroic Division playoff implications on the line. Choking Hazards fairly safe for the playoffs right now, but Quarantine Kappas really need a big signature win to kind of put themselves into the driver's seat for getting one of those last playoff spots in the Heroic Division. So we're going to kick it over to them. With that, thank you all for watching again. Take care.